Hi folks, on this episode of From the Tide to the Table, we'll be fishing for striped bass first by jigging and then by trolling. Not a double header, but a six header on this trip. And we bring two home for Chef Mike and our cooking segment. We'll be leaving from the Toms River area, heading north through Point Pleasant Canal, and starting our jigging off of Point Pleasant and then south of Mantolocan. And finally start our troll off of Seaside and off of Island Beach State Park. We'll start off by jigging flutter spoons, crippled herrings, and storm shads. And then we'll go on the troll with shad umbrella rigs. And our white shads save the day. Hi folks, welcome to From the Tide to the Table. I'm Captain Dan, and today is November 30th, 2021. Captain Billy and I will be going out for stripers today, but before we do, some boat prep. We'll be close to the coast, but we always bring our safety gear, and here I am setting up the Garmin InReach, which is interfaced with the Garmin displays at the helm. It's about 5 a.m. and I'm getting the boat ready, and we have AC and heat in the cabins as well as the helm. So I'm making sure the heat is on while I wait for Captain Billy. I'll check the cabin, make sure our food and drink are good for the day, and just to give the boat a once-over before we are underway. Grady White 33 Express, extremely comfortable and a pleasure to be on during the cold November morning. We're on generator power, and we will run the heat until it warms up this morning. I will go over our safety gear later, but no matter the trip, we bring all of our offshore safety gear, and of course, if we are just fishing the bay, we'll bring the basics. Here we are leaving our slip. We received some good intel from Dennis at Murphy's Hook House that there will be a good peanut bunker bite going off of Manasquan Inlet. We normally run out of Barnegat, that's in New Jersey, but today we'll be heading north to Manasquan, start with jigging, and run south depending on the conditions, bait, and the bite. It's about 6 a.m. We should have a fast run north through the Point Pleasant Canal and then east through the inlet. There should be a parade of boats, and given the 1 to 2 foot seas and practically no wind. So here we are, Manasquan Inlet. The inlet's very calm. There's almost no waves or boat wake. Not sure why everybody's heading out so slowly, given that we are way past the no wake zone. You'll see we run 2 VHFs. We run 1 VHF on channel 68, and the other one's scanning our 16, 9, 65, 68, 72, and 78. You might also be able to see we have our Viking 6-man life raft. Luckily enough, we've never had to use it. Great safety item. We also carry 2 ditch bags, e-burbs, handheld VHF, first aid kit, survival food for 3 days for 4 men. So Captain Billy and I set up on the jig right outside the inlet. Captain Billy's using a flutter spoon. I'm switching between a 6-inch white shad and crippled herring. Trying to match the hatch, marking a lot, but not seeing too much on the surface. We heard on the radio that lots of dogfish being caught, so just like everybody else, we're into them. You'll see Captain Billy gets into his, and then it's my turn. We're not seeing many stripers come over the rail of the head boats or any other boats near us, so we decide to move around a little bit. Here we go, first dogfish of the day, and again it's my turn. They seem to be hitting anything we threw down there, the dogfish. Luckily enough, they're not eating up our baits. We didn't lose any shads, we didn't lose any metal. Pretty easy to get off today. Well, I finally get on a striper and a white shad, still jigging off Point Pleasant about 30 feet of 30 feet of water. I'd say about a quarter mile off the beach. Boats were tight to the beach as well as on a 3-mile line, so we decided to stay about quarter mile to half mile off the beach. After only one fish jigging for a while, we decided to run south. We joined the fleet off of Ocean Beach, still jigging a little bit, but we give up and go on a troll. We are only going to run 2 lines today. We normally run 3 to 4, but we'll start the hunt with 2, end up staying with only 2 rods since the fishing gets really good. We rig our shad umbrellas, one in white, the other in green. We are running 2 Tony Maja 9-foot trolling rods paired with 2 Penn Senator 4 rows. We're running about 300 feet of Monel wire and back to yellow Dacron. We simply let out all the 300 feet of wire. That gets us our rigs down to about 30 feet. We set it, forget it. Unless we're around structure, there's really nothing else for us to do, and we've been super successful trolling this way. We troll Maja spoons, tandem mojo rigs, umbrella rigs. If we run any deep diving baits like nomads or stretches, we'll run this on braided line or some other conventional gear we use for stripers and tuna fishing. So, first fish. As soon as we drop our lines, Captain Billy is on a white shad spread, and we boat a small throwback. Unlike earlier in the month, where all the fish were 43 or bigger, this wave of fish seemed to be between 23 and 33 inches on November 30th, 2021. We're looking for a couple of keepers for Chef Mike. Mike recently completed his Master Chef accreditation, so you're learning and seeing recipes by one of the best in the business. Here we are on the second fish. Now it's my turn. A decent fish on green shad umbrella. We decide to measure this fish, and in hopes of getting a 32 or 33 inch fish, we decide to let this fish go. This year, the rules have changed. It's 1 fish per man, and the fish has to be 28 to under 38 inches. So you'll see after we catch this fish, things really change up for us. We really get into some exciting fishing, something that's never happened for us before. So here's a first. 2 trolling lines go off at the exact same time, and we are about to catch 2 fish on the white shads and 4 fish on the green shads. They're mostly shorts, but this is a first for us. 6 fish going at 1 shot. I pull up the 2 fish. Captain Billy's fighting what he thinks is 1 fish. Then we think it's 2. Then we think it's 3. Turns up being 4. Had to put the boat into neutral, which is something we don't normally do, but this was getting a bit too hard to reel in all 4 fish, and we had the boat moving at about 3 knots. It's about 2.5 miles to 4 miles per hour based on our GPS. So here we are, what we think is 1 big fish. These fish were caught off Island Beach State Park, pretty much at the north end. So after that hole, we decided to keep heading south and go back through Barnegat Inlet, which is our closest course back to port. We have 2 fish from the tide to the table, and we're going to clean them up, get these fish over to Chef Mike so that he can record the cooking segment of this video. All these fish were loaded with peanut bunker in their stomachs, and strangely enough, we did not do well on the jig. Here we are at Barnegat Inlet. We're going to head west. Unusually, it's nice and calm at the inlet. And here we are, that's our 2 fish, approximately 32 to 33 inches apiece. So usually Chef Mike does all the filleting, but today Captain Billy and I will do it and get these fish over to Mike.
Hi, this is Chef Michael Smith, and welcome to another edition of From the Tide to Your Table. Now today we're going to prepare a very, very simple dish that I love for a couple of reasons. 1, it's fresh. 2, it's flavorful. And 3, it's something that you can actually celebrate your fishing on the boat. So typically this dish is made with mahi-mahi, also known as dorado or dolphin fish. But we talked in episode 1 about the striper being a very funny fish to cook, and that the only way it really works is with moist heat cooking. So this is sort of moist heat cooking, but it's cooking without heat. It's actually cooking with acid. So the first thing we wanted to do was prepare the striper. And what we did is we took the fillets, we made sure that the mud vein was out, all the dark meat was out. And then we also want to mix it up some layers of flavor, so we're going to add some shrimp. So this is 1 pound of the striper fillet. You want to dice it about 1/2 by 1/2 inch. Put it in a Ziploc bag, just like you would do if you were on the boat. And the same with the shrimp. Get that all together. Then the next thing you want to do is add some lime juice. You can also use lemon juice or a combination of both, but here's a little trick for you. You always want your citrus to be warm. So leave it out, don't keep it in the refrigerator so that it gets good and soft. Then you want to take your hand and roll it in the palm of your hand, and what that does is break up all the pulp so that you have this beautiful juice that can be easily extracted from the citrus. So then you just cut it in half. You can squeeze it right into the bowl, or get one of these nice little juicers and squeeze it in and get about 1.5 cups, or about a cup, say a cup, of fresh lime juice, which is what I prefer. Then what you do is you take that lime juice and you pour it right into the bag. I don't add a lot of seasonings at this point. I just add a few. I add 3 cloves of garlic. The reason I'm adding the garlic now is I want that essential oil from the garlic to infuse in. And just a little bit of hot sauce. Now, whatever is your preference, I happen to love Cholula, but you can use whatever you want. Just a couple shakes in there. And a little bit of fresh ground pepper right into the bag. Again, we're doing this just as if we were right on the boat. Then what we'll do is we'll seal it up. We'll give it a good shake so that that acid, otherwise the lime juice, kind of infuses all over. We'll let the air out so that it's a good tight seal. And we'll put it in the refrigerator for about 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Now, if you're on the boat, all you want to do is take this and bury it in the ice in your cooler and let it sit again for 1 hour to 1.5 hours. So now we'll show you this in a little bit, but you can see that both the shrimp and the striper have been acid cooked from the lime juice. So before we get to that, what we want to do is take some avocado. I'll teach you a trick about how to clean an avocado. You just take it and you slice around, straight around, and then you twist, and you get a half. Then you take your knife, you just pop it in there, you twist it, and out comes the seed. Then you just take a spoon, you start at one side, and you scoop it out like you're scooping ice cream. Couldn't be easier. And we'll take that, we'll dice it up. I already have some pre-put in that bowl. Now, ceviche is one of those things that you can put anything you like into it. A lot of people put radishes in it. Some put jicama, some put chayote squash. It really doesn't matter. Whatever is right for your table. Then we want to take a little bit of lime juice and squeeze that on top. And that prevents that avocado from oxidizing. Otherwise, it gets brown and nasty. Right? Give that a quick spin. Now we want to take our ceviche. Now the reason we put it in a plastic Ziploc bag is we're pretending we did it as if we were going to do it on the boat. And we'll just open that up. There we go. And we're going to put that 1.5 pounds. So it's 1 pound of striper and 1/2 pound of shrimp in that bowl. Mix it up with the avocado. Oh, it smells great already. Then we're going to take some chopped scallions. Probably do 2 heaping tablespoons of that. We're going to take some red bell pepper. Again, 2 heaping tablespoons of that. We're going to take 2 jalapenos that are minced up. Now, with jalapenos, it can be none to as many as you want. Depends on how hot you want it. I like a little tomato in mine. Now, I might get some comments that why are you adding all this stuff after the fact? And I did it because I want freshness cues. I want the vegetables to be crisp, right? I don't want onions that are soggy and things of that nature. Now we'll add some red onion. That's about half of red onion. And we'll just stir that around. Doesn't it look beautiful and fresh? This is one of the most delicious things you can do on a boat. So the last thing we're going to add is my secret ingredient. This is Maldone Sea Salt, which is Spanish flaked sheeted sea salt. What I like about it is it's very low in salinity, and it has very, very nice solubility, so it melts in or dissolves into food very, very nicely without being overly sharp. A lot of pastry chefs actually use this in salted caramel desserts and things of that nature. So just a little bit on top. Again, this is certainly to your taste. Sprinkle that around. A little fresh ground black pepper. And then the last thing we want to add is some chopped cilantro. Now the reason we're adding that last is it's something that's going to wilt very quickly. Ceviche is not something you want hanging around a long time. You want to eat it at a party and just make enough that you can actually use. So put that cilantro in, and then we're going to give it one final stir. Make sure all the ingredients are mixed. Now, as always, I like to give you options on ways to plate this. The easiest way to do this on a boat, though, is get street-style tortillas, flour or corn tortillas. Street style meaning they're a little bit smaller, and all you got to do is take some of this mixture with all those beautiful freshness cues, spoon it in there, take a little bit more fresh cilantro, and if you're inclined, just a little bit of hot sauce. That is a great snack on the boat. Another option, if you're doing it for a more of an elegant dinner party, take a champagne glass or a mini champagne glass, spoon some in there. Make sure you get a good balance of the vegetables and the shrimp, avocado. Then I take a lime slice, stick it in the side, and then a few plantain chips. Plantains, if you're not familiar, they're like a banana. They're more starchy than a banana. Very, very popular in South America. And then, of course, the final garnish and freshness cue of a sprig of cilantro. So there you have it, folks. Striped bass ceviche with a little shrimp, avocado, and cilantro. I guarantee you this will be a party favorite, whether you're on board or off. This has been Chef Michael Smith. Stay safe out there. We'll see you on the water next time.